My friends, it's Ask the Author Friday, and I want you to continue winning the battle that you tell no one about. Thank you. It's Ask the Author Friday. I'm your host, Kent Brindley. It is August the 22nd. Where has the summer gone? While we ponder that question, let's get after some questions. Now, okay. Ask the Author Friday, still my weekly fireside chat with all of you as we delve a little deeper than simply writing or simply reading. Make it a little more one-on-one, a little more personal, a little more fun. All right, if you have questions for future weeks, feel free to hit the comments. If you enjoyed this or any of my other content, feel free to subscribe. Here we go. It literally just says the word he. A He-Man game is coming out, and it is coming to PS5. How excited are you? If you know me, this is big news. This is big news. It's called He-Man, the Dragon Parole of Destruction, or some such thing. The Dragon Parole, a nod to my absolute favorite Filmation episode, The Dragon Invasion. A He-Man game coming to the PS5. It plays like Golden Axe or Gauntlet almost. It's a beat 'em up. It looks like the open port game that someone else designed just using Filmation characters and sprites. I'm in. I'm all in for this and Mortal Kombat Legacy and WWE 2K26, but those are other stories for another time. A He-Man game, a proper He-Man game, is coming to PS5. I think the 80s boy in me just held aloft his magic sword and went by and said, by the power of Grayskull. Albeit in a 2-year-old's voice, because this is taking me back to 1986, and I was first discovering animation, and we're getting ahead of ourselves. I think it's a trap, but what did they put in it? I think it's a trap, but what did they put inside of it? Grand Valley football tickets for the 50-yard line in the first row, a desktop computer with a whole lot of memory, a new journal, a recording of my specific person's voice asking for help and that she is in the trap, a substantial paycheck, a contract from a publisher. They'll figure out something. Wait a minute. Just how gullible are you? A 7 out of 10, and that's me doing better. I'm a 7 on the gullible meter, and that's me doing better. Part of me still thinks that I stand a chance with my specific person. That's pretty gullible. Part of me still believes that treating others right causes them to turn around and treat you right, and then I end up in the same headspace. Pretty gullible. What does your moral compass look like? Can I be the '80s good guy in the '80s bad guys base of command, and with the '80s bad guys toys and gadgets, because they always got the better weapons and vehicles. They always got the better base. But I want to be the good guy here. Hmm. We all had our favorite toy when we were little. What was it? It comes down to the Masters of the Universe collection or the G.I. Joe collection, or the one Christmas I unwrapped all of the Thundercats heroes, but that Christmas didn't count because at the time I had He-Man, G.I. Joe, and the real Ghostbusters, and someone turned around and sold all the Thundercats heroes in a yard sale behind my back at the age of 4 or 5. Yeah, that was a good Christmas for a minute. Yeah. Okay, we all have our favorite toy though. I swear Battle Armor, He-Man, and Skeletor were my first action figures because I was 2 at the time and then would fall asleep each and every night with one of them in either hand. And yet I somehow didn't have nightmares from literally hanging on to Battle Armor Skeletor all night, except that I knew that Battle Armor He-Man was in the other hand. Forget not having nightmares. I didn't manage to break their legs in my sleep by doing this. That's talent. Anyway, favorite. Favorite, favorite, favorite. Trapjaw was probably my favorite Masters of the Universe figure, but he has to share that list with Cyclone and Mechanic at least. Tiger Force Dusty was probably my favorite G.I. Joe, but he shares that list with the Tiger Paw vehicle and the Iron Grenadier from the Cobra side. Um, Raven and Calhoun Burns were the only mask vehicles that I had when I was little, and collecting toys firsthand. And I have fond memories of sending Raven careening down a ramp. It wasn't even Thunderhawk or Piranha, or it didn't even make Shark or Condor or anything. It was Raven, the Corvette. Um, Brave Star and 3030 were great figures, and they made them in the size of closer to a Barbie, and they had the action, and at least Brave Star had the action feature where he drew his neutral laser. Those were awesome toys. The only Silverhawks figure that I had when I was little tiny was the Series 2 Bluegrass that came with the Hot Licks amplifier, and I remember being in Toys KB Toys, excuse me. I was in KB Toys that just before that Christmas, and was just ecstatic that someone had made figures of the Silverhawks. I was 2 in '86 when they would have been all over the shelves. Hmm. Okay, Bluegrass is out of contention because my favorite Silverhawk was always the Copper Kid, or Actual Hawk and Tally Hawk. Um, Shoot, I have so many favorite GI Joes. Dusty and the Tiger Paw just top the list at the moment. And I was collecting well into my adulthood before I finally found Duke and Snake Eyes in an antique store. It was the same day I also found the Sky Striker with Ace in the same antique store. That was a good day. Um, but the question was, when I was little, who was my favorite figure? And I made the question my favorite figure, so that rules out the mask vehicle. Trapjaw. I'm going with Trapjaw. Even though I got him from an antique store, so he didn't have his arm attachments or his belt, but he was Trapjaw. He was my favorite villain. Therefore, in play, he very soon not only defected to the side of good, but became like an assistant to Man at Arms. Okay, that was a mouthful. Thoughts on fan fiction? Love writing fan fiction. I mean, in playing with toys and rewriting character arcs, that is fan fiction to me. That is fantasy. I will still sit down and write fan fiction that I'm obviously never going to publish because I am using characters from established media. Thoughts on an agent? If I ever want out of my self publishing phase and I ever want a traditional publisher to look at me, or my work for that matter, look at my work, I'm going to need to do some job hunting for an agent. I'm going to need to hunt around for an agent. We're back to favorite. This has been Ask the Author Friday. Again, if you enjoy this content, feel free to subscribe. If you have questions for future weeks, hit the comment section. You all stay safe this weekend. I'll see you soon.